Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Talk about it.
What?
I don't get it.
I'm so damn confused.
What's this?
Talk about it.
What is going on here?
What's this?
Talk about it.
Wait a minute. I get it. Just do it.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
It's that time again. Time to hit those Zoom links and hit those spaces.
Talk about it.
Time to get your butt in the box and join the conversation.
Talk about it.
About what? You decide. Right here. Only on Talk About It.
Well, duh.
All right, we're in, man. I tell you, I really tried to just take the weekend off. It's Halloween. It's my favorite time of year. I just wanted to enjoy a nice Halloween weekend. You know, Halloween fell on a Friday, so I didn't do a show on a Friday. I wasn't planning on doing a show at all this week. But wouldn't you know it, the internet is just completely melted down. They have melted down like we have not seen in ages. I mean, and they're melting down all the damn time, but I'm floored by what I'm seeing here over this weekend. So I want to dive into all of that. And before I get started on that, hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know this wasn't a scheduled show, so anybody joining me tonight, thank you very much for jumping in here. I didn't even promote this thing. I could not get on here and rant about some of this shit with all of the shit happening. And I couldn't wait until Friday because by then it would probably be irrelevant. So I needed to make sure I get out in here and did some shit, talk about it. So what are we talking about tonight? So we got Halloween outrage across the internet. We got Libs attacking Erika Kirk again. They're furious about JD's Halloween costume for some reason. We're gonna get into that. We got costume hypocrisy. You'll see. We got blackface versus whiteface. The shutdown is continuing, and we have illegal voting, admitted illegal voting happening in New York City right now. So yeah. As you can see, I obviously could not just ignore this. I had to chime in and say a few things on this matter. So we're gonna get into this here. So first things first, we're just gonna dive right in. We have got the left attacking Erika Kirk over this event that she did recently. I want to say it happened on Thursday, the 30th or whatever. And so we're seeing the video footage starting to come out. And so we got this Republicans against Trump. This goddamn page. It blows my mind. Okay, so all right, if you're Republicans against Trump, then why are you against all Republicans? Because Erika Kirk isn't Trump. She's Erika Kirk. So you need to make up your mind what it is that you're actually against here. Kind of annoying, but okay. So they posted this video. We're going to go ahead and listen to it real quick. Take it away, Erika.
I am tremendously blessed and honored tonight to be able to introduce to you a very, very dear friend and his wife. They are incredible. And I see no one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do. And that's why I'm so blessed to be able to introduce him tonight. He's an amazing man. So please help me welcome to the stage Vice President JD Vance. I am tremendously blessed.
At which point in time, JD comes out, they embrace in a hug. We got to keep in mind, you know, ever since JD and Charlie met, they became very close. And this was a very traumatic event that happened. And so she's been leaning a lot on any support that she can get from anywhere. But of course, we've got people on the left that just can't stand anything that makes people on the right look wholesome and or good, positive in any way. They have to attack and tear down. So of course, they immediately start attacking her, saying the fake tears, chick hasn't cried one time, she's too busy doing his friends. Wow. This is how appalling. This is how appalling the left is. The things that the vile things that they've been posting and putting out there are just completely disgusting and despicable. But this is just the beginning of it. Okay? They're immediately coming in and attacking the way that they embrace and saying, I don't care what anyone says. This is not how you hug your friend. Man questions the nature of JD Vance and Erika Kirk's relationship. That hand movement, though. Look at this. And there's nothing wrong with this. And you're reading into it to try to make it seem like it's something that it's not. Just so that way you can detract from the message that they're actually speaking about. But okay, yeah, so they have eye contact. Yes, they embrace each other. Okay, great. Let's see some of the other stuff that they're saying here. Immediately, they're bringing JD's wife into it. They're saying the biggest victim here is JD Vance's wife, Usha, who is being disrespected in so many ways, constantly humiliated by Vance on stage. Remember, she met him before he was a politician in law school. Yeah, so she did. And point being, oh, no. See, they immediately have to start trying to drive a wedge in JD Vance's marriage. They are terrified of JD Vance, let me tell you, and they are terrified of Erika Kirk because they know that these two people are massive voices on the right. And they have so much charisma themselves. So they have to try to attack their character. So the way that they're trying to attack their character is insinuating that something inappropriate's going on between them. And trying to cause turmoil and strife in JD's marriage. It ain't gonna work, guys. I don't know why y'all trying, but it ain't gonna work. But I do know why you're trying. It's because you're disgusting people. But okay. Continues on. It says, this person posted, this is JD Vance's biggest political problem in 2028. How on earth is he going to get the MAGA base to accept her? Well, it's actually pretty easy because we've all already accepted her. There's nothing wrong with her. She's a beautiful woman. She's a great wife. I don't see what the issue is. Wait, that's right. I do see the issue. It's because the left believes their lies, their own lies, that MAGA is a bunch of racist and white supremacists and KKK members and whatnot. And that's just blatantly not true. It's blatantly not true. And they can't stand that one of the things that we're able to hold up as an example is JD Vance's marriage. Oh, no. So now they've got to try to destroy that. And this person in Corsich is saying that says something really, really ugly about MAGA. Well, of course y'all are going to sit there and try to claim that kind of bullshit. But It ain't gonna work. But it gets more disgusting and vile, and we've got them putting out here my prediction, this bricktop NAFO or whatever, right? My prediction, they are trying to replace J.D. Vance's wife with Charlie Kirk's wife. She fits the white Nazi nationalist image. They still can't stop with this hateful rhetoric that they push. This rhetoric that allows permission for their side to commit atrocious attacks in the manner that they've been doing, the likes of which were imposed upon Charlie. They're still continuing. Why? Because, well, we know why. It's because they don't want us alive. Yeah. By the way, I'm streaming live on TikTok tonight, as well as I've got my X space up and running. So if anybody wants to chime in, they have anything that they want to say, please feel free, jump on over there, chime in. That's what this is all about. That's why we call it Talk About It. We're here to talk about this stuff. And yeah, I can just sit here and rant at the screen, and I can rant for hours. I definitely can, but it's more fun whenever somebody joins me. So please feel free to hit that mic and request to speak if you want to. Furthermore, it says, the person continues posting, they will say, and I quote, "We became close when Charlie died, and the love was too strong to ignore." I will say I told you so later. You're welcome. Well, you know what? I'm going to sit here and say I told you so now, because one of the other things that I'm seeing in here is I predicted a few weeks ago when this happened. I want to say the week it happened, I said, watch. I guarantee you, it won't be too long, but within the next few months, we will start seeing conspiracy theories floating around, insinuating that Erika played a role in Charlie's death. Yeah. That's what we're going to start seeing. We're going to start seeing those conspiracy theories going around, because as her popularity rises based on how she has responded to this event and how she is doubling down on Charlie's agenda and ensuring that she fulfills his dreams, we knew that was going to be extremely successful, and it was going to get a lot of positive reaction. And so that's when I said, watch. They're going to try to damage her character and her reputation by insinuating that she played a role in it just to get to that popularity. And we're already seeing that. We're seeing these types of AI images coming soon at the new ballroom. Ha 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 ha. You know what I love? Anytime anyone on the right uses AI to generate some image, the left attacks them and claims that, oh, that's because the right, they don't have any real artists and they have to rely on AI and oh boy, you created an AI image, ha ha ha, oh, this isn't real, it's AI. But then they want to turn around and create this shit and they want to pretend like it's funny. No, see, thing is whenever the right comes up with stuff with AI, it's actually kind of funny. When the left does it, it's absurd, ridiculous, and it comes across as trying too hard. You know, there's a reason they say the left can't meme. It's because you can't. But it continues. We have this person, J.D. Vance, is going to divorce his Indian wife, distance himself from his family, marry Charlie Kirk's widow, and position himself as a candidate for the 2028 U.S. presidential election. Why would he do any of that stuff when he is already positioned as the number one choice for the presidential candidacy? There's no reason to have to do any of that. None whatsoever. He is just dominating of all the potential candidates. There's no reason to do that. Why the hell would he distance himself from his own family whenever family is a core value of conservatism? You have any idea how many conservatives would actually turn against him if he were to do something like that? I swear you guys are fucking morons. But then we've got this picture going around because they embraced, they're sleeping together. That's what they keep trying to put out there. They're sleeping together. Okay? Then we got this dude here, widower here. Holy dirty dancing Batman. FYI. On grief forums, there is a subclass of widow we call liberation WIDs, liberation WIDs, I guess widows, liberation WIDs. People who actually hated their late spouses, death freed them to get busy. They act like hot singles almost immediately. Just saying. I mean, this is atrocious. The man ain't even been dead 2 months. Y'all are out here calling his wife a whore. You're disgusting, freaking people. The caption on the picture here is this how you hug men when you have recently become a widow? Fingers through the hair and all. Listen, how you hug people while grieving, there's nothing sexual about it, so stop insinuating there is. Period. All right. This person, never in my 47 years has a side piece been so bold. Yeah, they're effectively calling her a whore, and JD Vance's side piece and his mistress, if you will. They're so desperate to try to hurt these people's reputation, and frankly, it's pathetic, absolutely pathetic. This dude, Charlie Kirk, dedicated his life to running pop for these N-words, and they killed him and fucked his wife. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving guy. Yeah, that's the despicable stuff that these people are putting out here. Fucking appalling. And don't stop there. We got this one here. I think I can read the game here, as they're showing pictures of her embracing people that she has come to lean on, people that were friends to her husband. That's right. They're attacking her for seeking moral support and people that she feels she can trust because her husband trusted them. This one really, really, really pissed me off. It says, ugh, imagine looking up from hell and seeing the homies passing your bitch around. I know he down there feeling like Spawn. So this guy wants to insinuate that Charlie Kirk is in hell, when in reality, everybody knows, without a doubt, if there was any person on this planet that was guaranteed to be going to heaven, it was definitely Charlie Kirk. 100%. Despite all the lies the left pushes about him, despite all the ways that they take everything that they can that he ever said out of context, nitpick and piece all these things together to make it sound like he's saying horrible stuff. Anytime you take anything, any clip they share, they never share any clips that are actually a minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes long, because they know every time Charlie is in context, all of their claims about him fall apart. The only way they can ever prove their claims about him is in little snippets whenever they cut out the context. So that's what they always do. That's what they always do. So there ain't no way that man's in hell. But to insinuate that he is, and then to refer to his wife as a bitch, this is the despicable left. How anybody could ever willingly associate themselves with these people is beyond me. And it's not really beyond me, because once upon a time I used to associate with them. I associated with them the majority of my adult life up until 2015. Yeah, I'm only fairly new to the conservative movement in this sense. I've only been doing this now for what? About 10 years I've been following conservative values and embraced conservatism. Before then, I was a raging libtard, just like the rest of these people out here. Why? Because I wasn't paying attention. Wasn't paying attention to politics at all. I was just going with what the headline said. Made myself feel like I was informed by turning on the news every night and listening to what CNN said, because, hey, it's the cable news network. They're not going to lie to me or anything. And then I started catching them in lies. Woke up to the propaganda. Stopped listening. So I can understand why these people would believe this crap about that they spread about Charlie, because they're too lazy to actually pay attention beyond casually catching headlines and turning on the news in the background while they actually scroll their phone and do other stuff and don't actually pay attention. All right. If they truly paid attention and took an interest, they would know that everything that they believed was a lie. But okay. Then we have this person posting this thing about the whole scenario, and I wanted to play this real quick. Let's go ahead and pop this
There's a lot
out
of
so
talk
that way
on the
we can
internet
hear it.
about JD Vance and Erika Kirk, and are they going to get together? And conspiracy theories about what's happened to put them in this position. And before we get too far down that rabbit hole, let me just remind us: JD Vance doesn't exist. JD Vance is a made-up name. It's a made-up persona, a facade. In the way that you and I think of ourselves as we are, as people who've carried themselves as so-and-so throughout their life, he doesn't exist. This is his fourth name. How many people do you know that have changed their name once, be it marriage or just like, you know what?
So I want to say here, yes, JD Vance has changed his name a few times. He did. Okay, the first time, whenever he had his first name, that or his original name, that was his father's name, and he didn't want to have anything to do with his father because his father was a total piece of shit. Don't we have the left saying all the time that people should take their mother's names instead of their fathers, especially if their fathers are pieces of shit? We have the left celebrating this stuff. So he takes his mother's name. Oh, no. No, he can't do that. Oh, then he wants to honor his grandmother who raised him. So he incorporates that in. Yeah. He's done ways to honor the people in his life that made him who he is. And so, yes, he crafted his name to shape who he is. God forbid he do that. Y'all say all the time that, hey, people need to respect people's identities. You're going to sit here and say that, oh, JD Vance doesn't exist. That's not his real name. JD Vance, nope. But then at the same time, whenever Bill becomes Melinda, you tell us that it's extremely offensive to call Melinda Bill. We need to respect the identity. Well, here you are not respecting identities here, asshole. But go ahead, let's keep listening to Jackass. Oh, wait a second. Where is it? Why ain't it playing? It should be playing. Oh, because I need to have it right here so I can click it. There we go.
I want to be something different. Yeah, I know a few, but other than marriages, not many. I don't know anybody that's changed their name twice. I know people who fully transform their body and change their name with that once. Changing your name 4 times is an indication of real psychic trauma, real psychic imbalance.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, see, this is whenever I get to use the left's argument that they love to throw out there. Oh, really? Is that so? Is that so? So can you show us your PhD? We need to see your medical degree. If you're going to be out here making diagnosis, we need to see that. We're not going to sit here and post it with the regarding JD Vance. This gentleman is spot fucking on. As the caption of the video says, no, we can't say that unless he presents us with his medical degree, because that's what the left demands of anybody of the right if should they make any type of insinuation such as the way this guy is. Let's keep listening to Jackass.
Soul, probably. Incapable of knowing peace, incapable of knowing authenticity. The man has betrayed and stabbed in the back the places he's been and the people that produced him. He came from SNAP benefits, and now he will actively, smilingly deny those benefits to people. He went to...
So okay, yeah. So he had SNAP benefits whenever he was younger. Yeah, they lived off of welfare and stuff. Apps. Yes, he did. Okay. Was he a legal citizen? Pretty sure he's a legal citizen. See, our issue is with all the illegals that are actually currently receiving SNAP benefits and all the immigrants that are gaming the system in the blue states that create these workarounds. So that way we end up with 59% of the immigrant population living on the taxpayer's dime. Yeah, that's our issue. Oh, yeah, but you're going to be all snarky and, oh, he went to Yale. Yeah, he sure did. He busted his ass and got his ass into Yale. I thought we were supposed to celebrate whenever people busted their ass and clawed their way out of poverty to actually make themselves successful. I thought we weren't supposed to look down on them. I thought we were supposed to hold them up and you know, look to them as an example to encourage other people to help themselves climb out of poverty. That's what I thought we were supposed to do. But oh, that's right. When someone makes it out of poverty and they happen to have gotten out of poverty thanks to embracing conservative values, oh, no. We cannot allow them to be any type of example, because we cannot let people know that they can get themselves out of poverty. Well, I can say this. Whenever I was a liberal and I leaned really hard to the left, I struggled big time. Yes, I ended up having to go down and apply for assistance and all that stuff. And gosh darn it, wouldn't you believe it? I blamed everyone for my shortcomings. Until I decided, you know what? This hasn't been working for me. I caught media lying to me. I decided to look into the other side because, damn it, this wasn't making sense. And then I started learning how I'd been being lied to so much. I started listening to the other side, and next thing you know, I found myself agreeing with a lot of the shit, and I embraced some conservative values. And before I knew it, embracing conservative values and taking responsibility for my own actions and putting an end to trying to blame others, next thing you know, I'm not living in poverty anymore. I end up being successful. I end up climbing up to the point that I'm very well off and very comfortable. Raised my kids without an issue. I'm good to go. But okay, yeah, let's go ahead and tear him down because he did what everyone should be doing. Let's tear him down because we can't let anybody believe that they themselves can do it too.
And now he will not only demonize elitists, but look to destroy the entire system that produced him and put him in power. The man has...
The system didn't produce him and put him in power, because here's the thing. If that were true, we have so many millions of people living in that system, they would all be in power. No. See, it was his rejection of that system and his hard work to get out of that fucking system that got him to where he is. You're just jealous because you don't even compare to the type of man that J.D. Vance is. You wish you could be. You wish. But you don't have the guts to stand up to pee, asshole.
No morals. He has no loyalty. He cares, really, it would...
Don't talk to us about morals because you don't know shit about morals.
Seem about nothing but whatever is driving him to feel something by gaining power. He is a monstrosity of a human, incapable of looking at himself and feeling okay. He presents as whatever he thinks will get him power. So I'm a moron. To ensure that he might become president by having a better wife and doing whatever it took to get that.
Usha's already an amazing wife. Usha's the type of wife that conservative men all across the nation would love to have. Someone who supports them. It's all men want from a woman, really, is someone that's going to have their back and support them. But this jackass. All right, let's continue and see some of the other crap that these assholes are out here saying. Okay, we got this bitch. This bitch, she wants to push some crazy conspiracy theory bullshit. Y'all think people on the right have some crazy conspiracy theories, but all their conspiracy theories ultimately end up being proven right. But anyone that goes this route is batshit crazy, and that's this bitch. This bitch is straight batshit crazy. Let's listen to the nonsense she's
Most people wouldn't recognize if they were talking to a literal snake, exactly like Eve didn't in the garden. A lot of these celebrities struggle to not act.
She wants to try to reference scripture, but she clearly doesn't know shit about scripture. She knows what leftists and leftism has told her about scripture, which 99.9999999% of is false. Because, as I've stated in previous videos, the one thing that has remained constant about leftism since its inception is their hatred of Christianity. But let's go ahead and listen to what this leftist perception of religion says, of Christianity says.
Actively shapeshift when they're speaking. She's one of the most obvious ones, and nobody talks about it.
No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD. And Vice President JD, yes, I do.
So we have the deceptive serpent in Eden. The Antichrist is also going to be an ancient dragon. Proverbs says the lizard you can hold in your hands is in kings' palaces. Jesus calls the Pharisees broods of vipers and serpents and says that they've created dens where snakes dwell.
So this leftist is attempting to call Erika Kirk the Antichrist. Now, video I recently put out, I found it very interesting. I find it extremely interesting. You know, left versus right. Back to their origins, rooted in the French Revolution from 1789. That is when the first time left versus right was ever used, and that was when those who sat to the right side of the aisle, they sought to preserve and retain the Christian monarchy with loyalty to the church, while the left sought to abolish the Christian monarchy and distance France from the church and Christ and all of that stuff. And all throughout the left's existence, it's been very anti-Christian and has embraced everything anti-Christian. Okay, so the left embodies anti-Christian values, hence the Antichrist, while the right embodies Christian values. It's amazing. We're not really in a political war, we're in a religious war. That's what we're seeing right now, a religious war. Okay, it's just the different religious views have aligned with each political side. So it's really telling to me when you have the right openly declaring that Christ is king, while the left is marching across the entire nation chanting, "No kings." It has nothing to do with politics or Trump or any of that shit. It has everything to do with the right openly declaring Christ as king and the left's rejection of Christ as king. So for this leftist to try to insinuate that Erika Kirk is the Antichrist, in reality, she's just running cover for the anti-Christian views of the left. That's what she's doing. Let's keep listening to Psycho Bitch.
Of thieves. Nothing I'm going to show you is edited. You can go and slow the videos down and look at these yourself. I could see it just watching the video, but just to show you guys, look at the teeth. This woman has like a perfect like veneer type smile. Her teeth should not be doing this. And the eyes. Every single video I see of her, her eyes shift to this up and down reptilian eye constantly. Remember, this is what a snake eye looks like. What is going on with the mouth? The mouth and the eyes. A lot of times when she's speaking, she gets like these glowing type.
Nothing wrong with her eyes. She's got beautiful eyes. The lighting hits her eyes in a certain way, just like it hits other people's eyes in a certain way. Creates an optical illusion. That's it. It's amazing how all of the footage that you're showing is extremely grainy footage. It's not like we don't have 4K footage of her out there. Where's the 4K footage? Why are you going for the grainy shit?
Things. And yeah, I know I sound crazy, but that's the gag.
Yeah,
is that
because you are crazy.
But it's very clearly happening. You guys can go and look at the footage yourself. I didn't do anything special to it. This is exactly what the footage is, and it's not just these videos. It's everything I've ever seen with her in it. You could do this. I'm sure the comments will be people telling me, oh, like, it's a grieving widow, leave her alone. First of all, she hasn't grieved at all once publicly. She's expressing.
She has been grieving. She has been. Clearly, you did not catch her original address to the nation that she did from Charlie's studio, that aired live on Rumble. Clearly, you didn't catch that. That was a very, very moving address. And she was so clearly grieving. But see, that's just it. You guys don't want to acknowledge that she's been grieving. So you keep spreading the lie that she hasn't been grieving and that she hasn't grieved, because she's not out here boo-hoo-hooing 24 hours a day. She carries herself with some dignity and with some strength. And that strength scares the living shit out of you assholes. Because you were desperately hoping that the right would just cower in the face of your actions. But instead, we're saying, fuck you. No. Okay, you committed a cowardly act. And you've unleashed the dragon. It's what you've done.
Genuine, like, happiness that her husband is apparently gone, which I don't believe anything on the world stage. But this, like, her teeth are different in every single frame.
So now this chick's insinuating that Charlie isn't actually gone. She's insinuating that it was faked. She says she doesn't believe anything on the world stage. Yeah. So she doesn't believe that Charlie's actually gone. Yeah, she believes it was faked. That's what she believes.
Like, come on. If you don't see this, I don't know what to tell you. Look at the teeth. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. They are literally snake eyes. I mean, come on. People tend to make a metaphor out of the Genesis story because they don't believe that serpents can actually shapeshift. I think it's very literal. I think that Eve was deceived by a shape-shifting reptilian. That makes way too much sense for me to personally deny it. We have to sharpen our discernment, especially Christians. If you really look at this situation and say, oh, but she's a Christian, that can't be possible, you are completely and totally asleep and need to wake up and find Jesus.
You need to find Jesus. The gall of you to come out and attack this woman simply because you don't like her politics and to effectively call her the Antichrist. I mean, wow. Wow.
At the same time, but nothing is by coincidence. Coincidence. When God is within you.
Yeah, these people are appalling. I can't stand them. They have disgusted me all weekend long as I've been sitting back and scrolling. I had the in-laws come and visit. I was just trying to enjoy a weekend with the in-laws. But, you know, every now and then I take a break and I check social media, just get a quick update. And all I saw was people attacking Erika Kirk and some other nonsense we're going to get into here as well. But what all of these people seem to have forgotten is that what they're doing to this little girl. I mean, every single one of these people should be ashamed of themselves because all of their shit that they're putting out here on the internet, the horrific lies that they're spreading about Charlie and the horrific lies they're spreading about Erika, all of that's going to get back to their children. You're out here trying to destroy their parents' lives and their children. It just leads me to believe that you all agree with the leftists that are all about, I'm on TikTok here, unaliving conservatives and their children. Yeah. I wouldn't put it past any of these people to wish ill on these children as well. But the good news is we did get this post from this woman here, and I thought she broke it down perfectly as explaining what's going on. And so she explained, she says, "Widow here, happy to explain. When my husband passed away, I was a shell of a person. I described that first year after he was gone as mostly an out-of-body experience. I was doing things like taking our son to school and working, but I was not, quote, there. I was present in body only, just going through the motions and trying to process my grief on the outer edges of life's regular demands. When the men he worked with, who loved him and would have happily laid down in traffic for him, hugged me, it was exactly like this. A full and complete embrace. It was like a breath of life that gave me enough strength to make it through another day. I remember on the day of his funeral, as each one of those men, his brothers in arms, showed up and hugged me like this. It was the thing that gave me the strength to endure that day. So when I see Erika hugging the men who miss her husband as much as she does. I can feel it. And I am so grateful she has these moments of reprieve from the crushing heartache of losing him. It makes perfect sense. Look, let me tell you this. When I lost my parents, my brothers grieved like all hell. I didn't. I thought there was something wrong with me. Hell, my brothers thought there was something wrong with me because I wasn't completely destroyed and broken the way that they were. But you know what? It's because I wrapped myself in work and my responsibilities to my children. And it wasn't until about 3 years later, whenever I went through another issue in my life, a situation where I normally would have called one of my parents and spoken to them. I had not encountered one of these issues, one of these moments since their passing. And here I am encountering one of these moments, and I reach for my phone to call one of my parents, and it dawns on me that I didn't have them to reach out to anymore. And it suddenly hit me like a ton of bricks. 3 years after their passing, I was finally grieving them. And for those first 3 years, I was kind of in shock and not really, didn't really accept what had happened. I hadn't really fully acknowledged what had happened. And Erika Kirk here, you know, Charlie was in the midst of building this massive thing. And then boom, he's gone. Someone's got to step up. She can either wallow and let her grief consume her, or she can distract herself, like so many people do, and throw herself into the work. And frankly, that's what she's been doing. And so for anybody to come out here and insinuate that she is not grieving and insinuate that she's having an affair with JD Vance, you people are despicable, disgusting fucking people. I can't stand you. Can't stand you. But okay. That's when we have Sassafras 84. She's posting out here. How do we combat this narrative? Wall Street Apes is correct. The algorithm is messed up. Unverified accounts pushing this propaganda with 36 million views. How is this level playing? Now, how is this a level playing field? It feels like 2020 all over again. Yes, you have people such as this, unverified accounts, posting they're sleeping together and this is getting out there and being sent out to 36 million people. That is atrocious propaganda. Now, the good news is whenever you look at this, it's got 36 million views. It only has 97,000 likes. Thankfully, that's freaking nothing. That's nothing. So the majority of people seeing this aren't buying it. Or if they are buying it, they're not liking it. I guarantee you every single one of those likes is from a staunch leftist. Guarantee it. But it's disgusting and appalling. How do we combat that? How do we? Especially whenever, here I am, I'm doing this. I'm not, I didn't promote that I was going to be doing a show tonight. This is just kind of a willy-nilly thing where I'm getting on here and ranting. Okay? I'm not going to get a whole ton of views on this. Here I am speaking truth, and I'm not going to get a whole lot of views. How do I compete with that kind of shit? People like this should not be able to garner the kind of views that they're getting. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. Is that me saying that, they should be censored? No, I don't think they should necessarily be censored. Because I believe in freedom of speech. Absolutely, I do. However, I do believe that freedom of speech is a guaranteed right from having the government come after you for things that you say. And so, being that X isn't the government, I don't see any reason why X can't impose some type of consequences for spreading this type of slander, this salacious material. There should be some type of consequences and repercussions for that, because social media is where the majority of people get their news. And the reality is that Elon Musk, his whole goal is for X to become the most reliable news source on the planet, and for everyone to come to X for their news. We can't allow this type of shit to be pushed out here on this platform, because people are going to believe it as truth, and it 100% isn't. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But why are they so terrified of her? Well, one of the reasons, we can break that down right here. She's doing shit like this. Erika Kirk shocked America. $175 million. Charlie Kirk Legacy Academy announced. The nation's first boarding school for orphans and homeless students. A new dawn of compassion. This is beautiful. This is glorious. This is what our nation needs. And this is the way the left responds to it, this Joe G guy. This is a very bad idea. Republicans shouldn't be allowed to set up things like that for children. Oh, but wait a second. Democrats should be? Why? Why should Democrats be allowed, but not Republicans? You call this a brainwashing trafficking center. Well, isn't that kind of what our public school system has become for the left? A brainwashing trafficking center? I'm just saying. You know, you can't sit here and, you got to remember, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And there's no reason why she shouldn't be able to set this type of center up. I'm all for it. I want to know where the hell to donate. That's what I want to know. Where the hell do I donate? But okay, we got some more that we're going to get into here, because that's not the only thing that they were throwing a fit about. Some of the other shit that I'm seeing out here this weekend. It's Halloween. It's Halloween. I love it. But, you know, Halloween has ended. Okay, so now here we are. We're in November. But you got to love it. Whoever is running the White House's social media accounts needs a major raise. Because this is what was posted October 30th. And I love it. I love it. Ghosted. Democrats disappear on the American people when they need them the most. It's a Democrat shutdown. That's right. The government is still shut down. 100% still shut down. And this is just brilliant. I love it. We got these ghosts flying around. It's hysterical. It's a great troll right in time for Halloween. Loved it. Great. And then JD Vance shares with us his Halloween costume. Check this out. This is amazing. Now, if you're wondering if this looks familiar at all, it should look familiar, because what did he do? He dressed up as the meme. That's what he did. He dressed up as the meme. Brilliant. Love it. The left, they loved this meme. They thought that they were owning him. The fact that he shared it himself and laughed about it whenever it first came about, they pretended like that didn't actually happen. And they still keep trying to post this meme thinking that it bothers him. But no, what did he took it from them completely, and he decided to be the meme of himself for Halloween. Hysterical. And then he turns around and he puts this video out. This video is freaking great. Let's go ahead and pop it out here so that way we can view it.
Say thank you.
Break that over again.
Happy Halloween, kids, and remember, say thank you.
Love it.
Halloween, kids, and remember,
It's funny.
say thank you.
That shit is hysterical.
Happy Halloween,
That
kids,
shit
and remember,
is hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. Phenomenal. Loved it. JD Vance, he is quite possible. Look. One of the reasons that Trump has done as well as he has done in politics over these years is because Trump is surprisingly insanely good at social media. He is so good at social media. And it's mind-blowing how good he is at social media, being that he's such an old man. But he's phenomenal at it. And I would say the only person a politician that I think is better at social media is JD Vance. This guy is so freaking good at it. It is hysterical. I love it. But of course, it sent the left reeling. They couldn't stand it. You have the Democrats' official account posting this bullshit. Point of view, you're a brand new IKEA sectional. They're still pushing the debunked claim that J.D. Vance wrote in his book that he had sex with a couch. He never wrote that. He never wrote that. But the left has claimed that, and they've been pushing that claim to the point that now you have the official Democrat account pushing that claim as well. Why? Because they know that no one on the left is actually going to go read JD's book. Because they've convinced them that they don't need to. Where if anybody goes and reads it, they can see for themselves that that claim is not in the book at all. And this is just a made up bullshit claim that even Tim Walz has pushed. These people are fucking despicable. So despicable. So, okay, they're running with that. You've got this guy out here who's so furious. Oh, he's trying to distract from the fact that he has Charlie taken out so he could screw his wife. Yeah, see, this person is insinuating that J.D. Vance had Charlie taken out. See, I told you that whole narrative is going to come about where they're going to say that it was the right that took out Charlie so that way they could hoist Erika up. Like I said, you're going to start seeing claims that Erika was involved. That's what these despicable people do. I swear. And then we have Harry Sissy here. Oh, yeah. He's lost it. J.D. Vance, after he and Trump kicked cancer patients off of their health insurance and took food away from hungry children. Okay. Corrections. Okay. No one's kicked cancer patients off of health insurance. That's a lie. No surprise, Harry lies here. Okay. Yes, there was cuts to cancer research funding. However, specifically, those cuts were to administrative fees involved in cancer research because the administrative fees were revolved around paying the different administrators and the different people involved in overpaying them. There was limitations placed on what could be paid out from the cancer funding in administrative fees. There was no cuts from the actual research. But this is whenever the left starts claiming, oh, but the money's fungible. And so if they take it from there, they're going to... No. The money... No. The administrative fees, the salaries were cut. Okay? There's a cap put there. Stop. Boom. Can't go any further. Done. Okay? And the rest of the money had to go to the research. Okay? So that put a stop to that whole fungible aspect of money. Okay? You weren't allowed to pay anymore. Oh, yeah. So no cancer patients were taken off of health care. All right. But furthermore, they didn't take any food away from hungry children either. That's all thanks to Democrats. That's right. See, Democrats can easily go down and vote to reopen the government. Right now, the Clean CR includes funding for SNAP benefits and all that stuff. The only people holding up any SNAP benefits from being paid out is the Democrats. Okay. Republicans have voted 14 times in an effort to reopen the government. Democrats have voted 14 times to keep the government closed. Yeah. So the only people stopping that is Democrats because they want to hold them, and we'll get into that later. But then Harry was so upset about that video, he had to post his own. Let's see Harry's video on this.
I cannot believe what I just watched.
Happy Halloween, kids, and remember, say thank you.
So what's wrong with that, Harry?
Wow.
What's wrong with that?
You know,
he's having fun on
what
Halloween.
we should say at this point anymore. We just want healthcare. We just want healthcare. We want our fellow Americans to be fed. That's all. Not asking for a lot. But no, you know, the President of the United States is building a ballroom. JD Vance is doing whatever the fuck that was. No, our leaders can't do that. Congress just got called out of session, sent home for another week. They haven't voted in weeks, months, on anything. You know, I'm just so sick of them. I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of them. They do nothing except that all day.
And now, here we are. Once again, Harry doesn't know shit. Clearly, Harry doesn't know shit. He does know shit. He's blatantly lying. All right? Because he knows damn well that Donald Trump and JD Vance have no control over the fucking Congress. That's the legislative branch. Donald Trump and JD Vance are the executive branch. They have no control over Congress. None whatsoever. Okay? Now, Republicans in the Senate are aligned with JD Vance and Donald Trump, and as such, Donald Trump wants a clean CR passed. Okay? So now it's the Democrats' responsibility to vote for that fucking clean CR. That's right. That's right. You say, we just want health care. You've got health care. Are you an illegal alien? Oh, wait a second. I think I just figured it out. Okay, so what do Democrats want in regards to health care as to what they're demanding in order to open the government? Well, they're demanding that illegal aliens get free health care paid for by the American working class, okay? And they're also demanding for subsidies for the elitist class, people making well over six figures a year. That's what they're demanding. If you're saying you don't have health care, Harry, you're either admitting that you're an illegal alien, so maybe you don't hold dual citizenship like you claim, so therefore you need to be deported, or two, you're admitting that you're a member of the elitist class making well over six figures a year and should be paying for your own health care and not having the working class people subsidize it. Which is it, Harry? Which is it? And as for food, yeah. Hey, you want food for the American citizens? Great. Sounds to me like you need to be pressuring Democrats to get their asses down there and vote to reopen the government. That's what it sounds like. Tax dollars ain't paying for that ballroom. That's being paid for by private donations. Oh, by the way, those private donations are coming. Yes, they're coming from conservative entities, which, by the way, conservative and Republicans, they are the ones that primarily donate to charities that are helping people through this tough time right now. The left doesn't donate. Yeah. So, sounds to me like you need to be talking to your Democrats. Well, but it's kind of hard for you to talk to them whenever your mouth's full of something from them. So, anyways, I loved it. He posted that shit, but then we ended up getting this hit. I loved it. This was great. Let's check this out. Harry's got something to say.
Well, folks, I gotta be honest with you. This was not a video I was expecting to make today, but late last night, Donald Trump, the president of the United States, unfortunately decided to attack me on social media. Well, folks, I gotta be honest with you. This was not a video.
Oh, man. I love how many people are just completely destroying Harry on a regular basis with their AI-generated content, making him look like the clown he is on a regular basis. He already makes himself look like a clown, but we've got millions of other people out there making him look like a clown as well. It's phenomenal. But that's not where their outrage ended. They had a lot more outrage that we're going to get into here. Let me go ahead and pull this up. We've got this other news here segment I'm going to get into. All right. The left is furious once again about Halloween costumes. They're just outraged by Halloween costumes. And one of the ones that's cycling around, this was posted by Benny Johnson, and his caption of it is great. It says, "This is perfect. The podium, the music, the wig. We have a Halloween winner. The kids are going to be all right." And it's great. Let's listen to it. All right, that's adorable. It's adorable. Whether you like Trump or hate Trump, that's adorable because it's just funny. He's got to shift the hair, so if you hate Trump, hey, he's shifting the toupee. Oh, if you hate Trump, yeah, look, he's a baby. Ha 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 ha. You can laugh at him if you want to. This makes a good mock video for the left, but at the same time, it's an adorable video for the right. It's good. This is good. This is good. Well, this is the type of videos that we need. We need more stuff like this, okay? But no. The left can't stand that. The left can't stand for there to be anything wholesome or anything like that. So instead, they've got to try to tear it down. Dressing your toddler up as a known child molester to own the libs. See, they're out here insinuating that Donald Trump's a child molester again. We've got another one here. They say that trans people are indoctrinating and grooming kids, and then they make their kids dress as a known child, yeah, I'm on TikTok, so I can't say that word for Halloween, right? And then we have another one here. This was a fun Halloween costume I liked. You've got these kids dressed up as Secret Service agents and Trump. It's great. It's great. Let's watch. All right. That was fun. That was fun. That was fun. But no. You got to have a horrible caption. It's got to say Trump is actively covering up for a child sex trafficking ring because it implicates him. Yeah, so they're making all of these allegations and accusations about Trump as usual, because that's what they always do. But what they want to ignore is that just within the past few weeks, NBC, had all these victims of Epstein, and they blatantly asked them, was Trump involved in anything? Let's listen.
I do have to ask, and I know, and it's just something that I think we're compelled to at this moment, with the attention on President Trump, with these questions around a pardon. Did anybody see or hear of the president himself doing anything inappropriate as it related to Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
I do have to ask, and I know, and
no,
it's just something that I think we're compelled to at this moment.
The answer is no. The answer is no. Like I've said before, okay, when it comes to Epstein, either one, there is this powerful cabal that is more powerful than any government on the planet, meaning even more powerful than Trump, in which they're never going to let us see any more material, or two, there isn't anything else to see. One way or another, we're not going to see anything else. And I'm sorry, we all know damn well that if there was anything to be used against Trump, the Democrats would have released that whenever Biden was in office. We all know that, without a doubt. But okay, another costume that they were really upset about is this one here of this kid wearing an FNN shirt, Fake News Network. Fake news, being a cameraman for fake news. It's great. Name tag says, "Let's go, Brandon." It's great. It's great. Says this kid wins Halloween. Now, part of me wants to believe that this is an old picture. Probably came out a couple years ago. But it's still funny. But the caption we get here is, "No one under 30 gives an F about the news." This is grooming. So you have the left just desperately out here wanting to accuse the right of grooming. That's what they always want to do. But what they never want to talk about is how prepubescent children, like the kid in this picture, okay, they don't give an F about sex or transgenderism. But yet, here we have all of these books that push that crap on children. So, I mean, if we really want to talk about grooming, I think we know where the grooming's coming from. But okay, I forget all the time that I'm on the TikToks and that I might end up getting booted from there. So if I get booted from there, you can always jump on over to the Rumble stream or the YouTube stream or the X stream, any of the other places that I'm streaming. You can jump on over there and check it out. Also, remember, you can chime in. All you got to do is hit that request to speak button, be it on TikTok, be it on X Spaces. You got something you want to add, feel free to jump on over and give me your thoughts on this. But, they're all outraged about these little kids. A couple of them dressing like Trump. Some of them dressing like Secret Service agents. One of them dressing like fake news. Oh, this is horrific. Oh, this is bad. This is grooming. This is just bad, bad, bad. Meanwhile, this is what we're seeing from their side. Okay? We got this. The caption says, this is very disgusting, making fun of a political assassination. Also, a public profile which indicates employment by a major TV news station in Maine. He's making light of a horrific tragedy. That's what he's doing. Turning it into a comedy. And this person, Derek, he wants to go ahead and correct it and says, political assassination, you mean podcaster. That's it. The left is desperate to downplay the significance of that event. Desperate. But they ain't going to succeed. What they are doing right now is what people tried to do whenever Martin Luther King was taken out. Okay? You had a bunch of racists out there trying to downplay his tragic demise. I have to be careful about the words that I speak here. It's really difficult streaming on TikTok because you got to be careful about what you say. And so that's why I don't do it all that often, because I'm not real good at censoring my words and following restricted speech guidelines. I'm not really good at that. So forgive me if I slip up here and there. But yeah, then we also have others out here dressing like this. Yeah, one above wasn't the only one. Yeah, that's what these people are doing. Caption says, apparently Charlie Kirk is a popular Halloween costume. Oh no, some kids dressed up like Trump. That's so bad. That's horrific. I can't believe that they would do that. These are horrible people. They would dress kids up like Trump. Meanwhile. Yeah. Oh, and it don't stop there. It gets better. It gets better. We got this one here. Just see my first Charlie Kirk costume. Bruh said, let me get my teeth right. Now, y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Looks to me like we got black person wear a white face. Now, I have been thoroughly informed that when a white person does blackface, oh my God, it's one of the worst things that anybody could ever do. Period. It's as bad as Hitler and the Nazi Holocaust if a white person does blackface. But we have people out here doing this. This is considered okay. But let's go ahead and speak about blackface versus whiteface here, because we did have some instances of people doing blackface this season. Because let's face it, we had this black comedian that did an uncanny, very realistic impression of a white hillbilly person, and it went viral. Okay? So that kind of took away the offensiveness. It can't be offensive for one and not the other. It's either offensive for both or it's not. And since the other one was widely accepted as perfectly fine and funny, then there's no reason why the other shouldn't be considered as such. That's why we don't have leftists all upset about this. No, not at all. But okay, so we have some instances here of people doing whiteface. Now, the caption on this is white supremacy is a genuine mental illness. The person says, my timeline is full of right-wingers doing blackface for Halloween. Now, this is very interesting, these here. So this first one up here on the right, okay, we got some video footage of her statements here. So let's go ahead and hear this.
That's like them having a scar and being like, I can't believe I have scars. Like, what? Black women, you tear your hair out by the roots. You put every sort of chemical on your hair to straighten it out, despite being so proud of being black. And then you wonder why you have alopecia. And then you guys fight all the time. And yet you wear massive hoop earrings. You wear weaves in your hair. You wear fake eyelashes. You wear fake nails. All of these things are not conducive to fighting, okay? So let me give you advice. Let me turn this racist stream around into something positive. Okay, black women, listen up. Listen up. A black woman is speaking. When you are fighting, when you are going to bat, okay? Before you wake up in the morning, get out of bed and you have to think like a fighter. You have to put yourself in the mindset of not, oh, it's just easy breezy and I might pick up a fight or a felony later on. No, that is the wrong mindset to have. The correct mindset to have is that you wake up every day knowing that every day is a fight. Every day is a potential crash out. Every day is a potential chance to chimp out. With that in mind, let me adjust my cap for the billionth time. With that in mind, you must wake up with that mindset, okay? Like white girls have to manifest things, you have to manifest too. You have to manifest yourself into the ultimate super warrior, okay? You have to turn yourself into the ultimate warrior princess of Wakanda and go outside with that mindset in mind and know this. Know this to be the case. You will fight. You will dominate. You will win. Hail the black woman. Hail her. You will win and you will fight and you will fucking dominate, okay? So that's your manifestation.
Okay,
That's your affirmation.
so
That's your word of affirmation in the morning. Second of all,
I'm not going to pretend like this video isn't necessarily somewhat offensive. It can be. I can see that. Interestingly, she's actually being motivational in a sense. She's telling black women to manifest success for themselves. Maybe in a colorful manner or whatever, but okay. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is okay or that it's not okay. I'm going to say grow some thicker skin. Seriously, okay? Unless you're going to be upset about this, you better be outraged about that if you're going to be outraged about this. Okay? Period. Now, if you want me to be outraged about this, then you need to be outraged about that. But as long as you're not outraged about that, I'm sorry. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. But then this is the one that has really taken the internet by storm. Because this one's very interesting. So this is Brittany Venti. Now, I had never heard of this woman before. But I gotta say, I'm here for it. She has been doing this for a while, and this is on brand for her. And once you realize what's going on, you're going to realize the hypocrisy. And frankly, I'm here for it. So she posted this. She painted her face up really black there, and she's holding up some chicken tenders, and she says, when that EBT hit. Now, people saying, oh, this is racist. You got this person here, Corey Walker. I hope permanent unemployment was worth it. Him sitting here insinuating that she ain't ever going to have a job. Little does he know she got a job. She got a damn good job. She's working for herself. That's what she's doing. But let's go ahead and look at something interesting about Corey Walker here. This is Corey Walker. Okay. He posted, conservatives should care about constitutionally protected speech, even when it offends them. He should not have been expelled. And that's in reference to this news that Nick Sortor had posted back in September. This is just September. This is barely even a month later. Nick posted this breaking news of Texas State University has expelled the student who was seen mocking Charlie Kirk's killing and spitting at his supporters. Yeah. And Cory Walker says conservatives should care about constitutionally protected speech even when it offends them. I don't see Cory Walker caring about constitutionally protected speech here. No. He's calling for permanent unemployment for this woman, for this girl here. But here's what's really interesting here. We got Cuck Turd, who's a wannabe cat turd, mimicking cat turd, should not be allowed to be posting on X with that there, because they're not making it very clear that they are in fact a parody of cat turd, and that's a violation of X's guidelines. But here we are, and cat turd is posting, it's been really disturbing to see Republicans glorifying black hate just because they disagree with EBT. Okay. There's just one thing about this girl, though, that the left, one, they didn't know because they jump to conclusions and they make assumptions. Right? That's the first thing. Second thing, when they found out, their reaction is so telling. It's so telling. The hypocrisy is just, it's like impossible to believe. But here we are. Brittany Ventney addressing the I'm not black allegations. So here we go. Let's listen to her real quick. Start this over here.
Instagram deleted my reel because I said the nigger word, and I am one, so I'm gonna go ahead and show proof. I'm logged into 23andMe. You can see on this page that I am, in fact, black. You know, and in case you think I'm an elite hacker or something and that's fake, this is a photo of me and my family, my black side that raised me, and my black grandma. Look, you can go see all those naps. And here you can see my mom and my grandma and my cousin, and you can tell that my mom is black from her weave. Like, why does Instagram get to be the gatekeepers of blackness? They just hate to see a black bitch run her mouth.
So, she's black. Interesting. Wow. So that should give it a pass, right? You know, it's not her fault that her skin isn't as dark as y'all would prefer it to be, so she looked to darken her skin. I don't see any of y'all complaining about Beyonce bleaching her skin, but hey, y'all gonna complain about a black woman trying to look black. But you ain't gonna complain about a black woman trying to look white. Y'all make no fucking sense to me at all. At all. Oh, but no. Instead, they decide to attack her and claim that she ain't black. Says, calls herself a slur, calls her black relatives' hair nappy, says another wears weave as proof they are black, and says black very weird. But she wants us to think she's black. I mean, she showed you the proof. But no. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. And then we also have this person posting out here. This has nothing to do with conservatism. She's mixed race, poking fun at the absurdity of the left's race-based obsession, and you fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Absolutely you did. This person was posting out here claim, oh, see, that's not the one. So, damn it, I didn't save it. But there is a ton of comments saying she's not black. She's not black. She doesn't have enough melatonin in her skin to be black. Even though she is proving she's black, she's not black. And the reality is because she doesn't align with their views and she's calling out their hypocrisy. And this is her brand. This is her job that she does. That's right. That's right. So jackass earlier saying, oh, I hope you like permanent unemployment. Well, she employs herself with this stuff here. Yeah. This has really gotten a lot of traction. She's actually making even more money off of calling out y'all's hypocrisy. So it's pretty great. It's pretty great. But then the thing that the left never wants to talk about is they never want to talk about, oh, hey, look at, Justin Trudeau doing blackface. Oh, no. They love Justin Trudeau. They sure do. They sure do. They also love Jimmy Kimmel whenever Jimmy Kimmel did his bit.
Today, Karl Malone talking about health. Karl Malone healthy as horse, but everybody not so lucky. All kind of Americans infected by diabetes. Diabetes infect young, old, women, man. And here Karl Malone whole thing. Why they call it diabetes? That get people all riled up. That's what Karl Malone say, change name diabetes to live-beatis. That way, people don't go walking around saying, oh no, I'm going diabetes. Instead, they saying, look our world, live-beatis coming through. That's called positivity thinking right there, and that's kind of thing keep Karl Malone on top. Remember?
Yeah, there you go. There's liberal hero Jimmy Kimmel doing the thing that's unforgivable, but apparently it's no big deal to them. That's right. And he went all out. He didn't just do his face. He did his whole freaking body. Look at him. Arms, legs, the whole damn thing. That's right. That's what he did. Oh, no. He did the unforgivable thing, but it's okay. It's forgivable because it's Jimmy Kimmel. And then what about Jimmy Fallon? When Jimmy Fallon did it. Look at that. He went with the hair and everything. Oh, that's not offensive. It's only offensive whenever a very light-skinned black woman calls out hypocrisy. That's when it's offensive. Or it's offensive when a white woman paints herself up, but then tries to say inspirational things. That's offensive. Got it. But then we got this over here. We got Twitch supports racism. We got this person painting themselves up white, putting on a blonde wig, says Twitch supports racism against white people. And we got Dreamleaf saying, who gives a fuck? Yeah. They don't care in the reverse. See, they're all about that double standard. Rules for thee, but not for me. Yeah, that's what they're all about. Yeah, they lost their shit on Halloween as they do every year. Next year we'll be seeing some more shit they lose their shit over because, listen, we're only at the beginning. One of the reasons that they're so terrified of J.D. Vance and Erika Kirk is because they know damn well that they are going to help secure a Republican presidency for the next 20 years. They know it. They're terrified of it. So they're desperate to tear them down. They're freaking out over anything that's gaining any cultural wins. So they're throwing their fits about that. And we're just at the beginning. It's just 2025. We haven't even done the first year of Trump's second term yet. It ain't even done yet. We still got over 3 years left to go. And then we got 8 years with JD. And then we got 8 years with Marco Rubio. And then we got a plethora of people to choose from after Marco. So they're terrified because they ain't got nobody. But all right, some other interesting news. Elon Musk announced that Grokpedia has launched. And Grokpedia has been really, really interesting here. Grokpedia is, think Wikipedia without the wokeness. That's right. That's what it is. So Wikipedia, that's edited by people. So people can go in and they can change any information in Wikipedia anytime that they want to. It don't have to be accurate. Just as long as they get enough people to agree with what's being said. And that's why you get all sorts of false information on Wikipedia. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff that we see. So right here on Wikipedia, we've got George Floyd's information, his page here. Let's read this. It says, George Perry Floyd Jr. was an African-American man who was murdered by a white police officer in Minneapolis, Minnesota, during an arrest made after a store clerk suspected Floyd had used a counterfeit $20 bill. On May 25, 2020, Derek Chauvin, one of the 4 police officers who arrived on the scene, knelt on Floyd's neck and back for over 9 minutes, fatally asphyxiating him. After his murder, a series of protests against the police brutality, especially towards black people, quickly spread globally and across the United States. His dying words were, "I can't breathe." And that became a rallying cry. So that there is Wikipedia's page for George Floyd. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at Grokkopedia's page. Let's see if you can spot the difference here, okay? George Perry Floyd Jr. was an American man. See, it's leaving out the race. It's not trying to push any of the racial division stuff. He was an American man with a lengthy criminal record, including convictions for armed robbery, drug possession, and theft in Texas from 1997 to 2007. All true. Didn't see any of that in the Wikipedia page. Yeah. On May 25th, 2020, Floyd was arrested in Minneapolis, Minnesota, after a store clerk reported that he had used a counterfeit $20 bill to purchase cigarettes. During the arrest, which involved resistance from Floyd, who repeatedly stated he could not breathe even before being placed prone, see, that information was suppressed in the Wikipedia page, okay? Officer Derek Chauvin knelt on Floyd's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds while Floyd became unresponsive. In reality, no, Chauvin knelt on his shoulder blades. But okay. The Hennepin County medical examiner ruled Floyd's death a homicide due to cardiopulmonary arrest, complicating law enforcement, subdual, restraint, and neck compression, with contributing factors including severe hypertensive atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, fentanyl intoxication, and recent methamphetamine use. Toxicology test detected 11, I don't know what those measurements stand for, but of fentanyl in his blood, a level associated with overdose fatalities in individuals without tolerance. Chauvin was convicted in 2021 of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Yeah, see, unintentional murder. See, the way the Wikipedia page puts it is that he went out and killed him because he was a black man. That's the kind of the narrative that they push there. Here, no, they're being more accurate in it. He received a 22.5-year sentence. Floyd's death, widely disseminated via bystander video, precipitated extensive civil unrest across the United States and internationally, including riots causing billions in property damage, alongside debates over police use of force, the role of Floyd's health and substance use in his demise, and systemic issues in law enforcement interactions with suspects exhibiting non-compliance or intoxication. So a much more accurate account as to what happened is what you're seeing in Grokkopediya. So Grokkopediya is going to be a game changer. It's going to be a major game changer, and the left is terrified of it. And so they've been trying to attack it and discredit it the same way they try to attack and discredit anything that is a threat to their stranglehold that they have on information. And Wikipedia is one of those last-ditch efforts that they're last-ditch things that they're holding on to desperately, and it looks like they're not going to be able to continue to retain the reins of it on information, as they've already lost social media. They've lost mainstream media because no one watches cable news or any of that shit anymore. We all get our news information from podcasts and our own preferred outlets, which, by the way, do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you like, follow, and share, because the reality is that the monoculture is gone, and people are unlikely to see this kind of content because the algorithm really tailors everything for us individually, and what we think is popular, it usually isn't very popular because we're not sharing it ourselves. And so you just have to assume that no one's going to see anything that you like unless you share it. You have to assume that nowadays. The reality is that your neighbor most likely is not seeing the same type of content that has been tailored to your liking based on the algorithm for you. They're seeing content based on their algorithm. So make sure you share this content to help get it out there. But okay, yeah, Grokkapedia is going to be a game changer. It's incredible. Great thing about it is that we can fix mistakes in Grokkapedia easily. As it says right here, you just highlight the text and tap that it's wrong and then send the correction. That's all you got to do. So much better than Wikipedia. Wikipedia they've been the gatekeepers of information. This is a game changer. You're going to be seeing Wikipedia out within the next year. It's going to be glorious. But okay, going to get into some more stuff here. I got to hit a stinger. We're going to talk about some culture stuff. So let me go ahead and back out of this real quick. See, this is what happens whenever I don't prepare my show properly and just willy-nilly. I start having some issues, but that's all right. I'm going to make it all work. Here we go. Hit that stinger. All right. So here we are. We're back. Oh, look, all my news channels have canceled out on me. I need to make those get playing again, so that way we can watch some news should anything come up. So we got Zoran Mondani, that New York election coming up here on Tuesday, and one of the crazy things is we actually have someone admitting that they have been that they're intending to vote illegally. And yeah, 6 times even. So we'll play that here shortly. But first things first, right after I get these live news streams lined back up here, so that way I can continue monitoring the news as we are talking about our stuff here today. Yeah, that don't want to work right for me, but okay, that's just the way that works sometimes. Oh, do me a favor. Hit those but hey, also drop your comments. I want to hear from you most of all. You know, this show is called Talk About It because the idea is that I want to talk to people about things, not just about things. So drop your comments and let me know what your thoughts are on some of the things that I'm saying here. I see some of y'all out there watching. Go ahead and hit those comments. But okay, on to this culture stuff, this culture war stuff. I'm going to play some examples of what we see from the left versus the right. And we're going to start out with this one here. This guy, he just, wow. Wow is all I have to say. Let's pull him up and hear what he's got to say here.
Attention all U.S. citizens. As I am recording this video, Donald Trump is preparing to illegally invade a foreign nation. He has no approval from Congress to invade Venezuela.
No, he's not. He's not preparing to illegally invade a foreign nation. Okay? He's not doing anything illegal. He is the commander-in-chief. He cannot declare war. Only Congress can declare war. But he can command the military. And right now, he is seeking to put a stop to the drug trafficking that is occurring, that's coming out of Venezuela. Let's continue listening to this lunatic.
Venezuela. To do so would be an act of treason. It is our...
How is it an act of treason? Please explain how this is an act of treason. Okay, how is he committing treason upon the United States, you know, being a traitor to the United States. That's what treason is. You're a traitor. How is he betraying the United States? By protecting the United States from illegal drugs coming into the United States and killing hundreds of thousands of American citizens. How is saving American lives betraying the United States and committing an act of treason? If someone can explain that to me, I would love to hear it in the comments.
Our right and our duties as U.S. citizens to use our Second Amendment rights to remove him from office if he proceeds with this illegal invasion.
So this guy says that it is our right and our duty, it's our duty to use our Second Amendment rights to remove him from office. Well, let's think about this here, okay? Second Amendment. What is the Second Amendment? It is the right to keep and bear arms, right? Okay. Now, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to see that this left winger seems to finally be agreeing with us on the right as for what the purpose of the Second Amendment is. So, because for decades we've heard the left claim that the purpose of the Second Amendment is so that way we could keep and bear arms, so that way we could hunt or defend ourselves from home invaders. But we don't need a lot of artillery for that, because we don't need 30 rounds to go hunting, and we don't need 30 rounds to protect our homes. No, we don't need that. But see, we on the right have been saying all along, no. See, the Second Amendment is intended for us to keep and bear arms to ensure that we are protecting our First Amendment rights and to be able to unseat, a tyrannical government. So this leftist is clearly in agreement with what the purpose of the Second Amendment is. I'm thrilled to see that we finally have a leftist agreeing with us on the right in that sense. However, what is he saying here? He's saying that it is our responsibility to use our Second Amendment rights to remove Donald Trump from office. So he is calling for an insurrection. That's what he is doing. He is actively calling for an insurrection. So, FBI, I got someone that you need to be taking a look at here, bud. I'm just saying, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, y'all really need to be looking at this guy, because he is actively calling for an insurrection. And the left has already told us that, insurrectionists, they should be locked up for life. I'm just saying. Let's keep going.
If boots are put on the ground in Venezuela, I implore you to rise up. We will not tolerate this tyranny in America. We did not tolerate it when King George taxed us without representation, and we will not tolerate it now. Veterans, remember your oath and prepare for anything.
He says, we will not tolerate this tyranny in America. How is it tyrannical to protect American citizens from illegal drugs coming into America and killing our fellow American citizens? How is that tyrannical? Furthermore, he says that we did not tolerate it whenever King George levied taxes. Okay, I'm sorry. You and I weren't a part of any of that. We weren't alive. So to say we didn't tolerate it, we weren't a part of tolerating or intolerating it, or not tolerating it, I should say. Okay, but I'll also point out, you cannot compare opposing taxation without representation from King George of Great Britain, okay, to stopping illegal drugs from being trafficked into our nation. They are not the same. Finally, you say, veterans, remember your oath. Well, I got news for you. I'm a veteran. Yeah, I'm a veteran. My brothers are veterans. My father was a veteran. We remember our oaths. Yes. and our oaths to our military service, or the oaths that we took, was to you gonna love this. You're gonna love this. We swore to follow the instructions of the commander-in-chief. Yeah. That's what we did. This freaking myth claiming that you don't swear an oath to the president, you swear an oath to the Constitution, is a total flat out lie. Total flat out lie. And I'll prove it. Let's go ahead and pull this up here. I'm going to swing over here. I'm going to open another window, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. Enlisted oath. Here we go. Pull that up here. Let's go ahead and read this. The oath for United States Armed Forces is as follows. I, state your name, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. See, the left likes to say, you swore an oath to the Constitution, you didn't swear an oath to the president. It says it right there in the freaking oath. You absolutely swear to obey the orders of the President of the United States and the officers appointed over you. So yes, veterans, I implore you to remember your oaths, to obey the orders of the President of the United States. Absolutely. I implore you to remember that. So, okay, this is a leftist losing his total shit, calling for an insurrection. Obviously, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, FBI, y'all need to go round his ass up, lock him up forever. That's what the left says needs to happen to insurrectionists, so he needs to be locked up forever. We should never see his face again. He should disappear completely. That's what the left believes should happen to all quote-unquote insurrectionists. So we should be seeing that. But okay, let's go ahead and see the way the right is posting. I love this. This is the way the right is reacting to the types of posts that Trump puts out there. Here we go. This is fun. This is fun. Pull it up here. Here we go.
Saying that I do not care what political side that you stand on. This is the funniest administration that has ever came about in the United States history. Do you understand me? And I love a good giggle. First of all, Hillary Clinton gets online, puts in her 2 cents about the ballroom, and then Trump gets online and just reminds the entire world that your husband got his hoo-ha sucked in the Oval Office. It was a simple, hey Hillary, you're worried about the wrong balls, okay? I never thought I'd live in a lifetime where the president is the best troll. Oh my gosh. And whoever is running their damn TikTok account, give them a raise right now. They are 50 raises behind. I want them to have a raise every single time that they post a TikTok, because that is the funniest mother that I've ever seen in my... I love Trump. I love the administration. I love it. I do not give a... I'm not going to coddle your feelings anymore, because we spent the last 4 years worried about what everyone else thought. Not me, but everyone just had their feelings stuck up their hoo-ha, and Trump is like, I'm going to grab it. I don't care. I hope y'all got that. That was a really funny joke. Anyways, cheers. I'm going to start this off saying that I do not care what political side...
And that is the difference between how you see the left and the right responding to Trump post. The left is out here calling for an insurrection, and the right is just out here laughing because, frankly, this is the funniest administration that we've ever had in my lifetime. It has been hysterical. I mean, hell, we saw some of the shit that JD Vance was posting earlier. He dressed up as the freaking meme of himself. It's phenomenal. You had to love that. But okay, now we've got another example. Okay, we've got this leftist, and he's saying that there should be no men or white people in office for 1,000 years. Let's hear him out.
This hot take that. Y'all don't know what a hot take is, so I'm going to give you a few of them. No men in political office for 1,000 years. No white people in office for 1,000 years. If you mention God or your faith or religion of any kind as a deciding factor as a politician, immediately disqualified and kicked out of office. I don't think criminalizing racism is good enough. I think we need to criminalize a lack of anti-racism. If you go around saying that you think black people don't have it as bad as they did in America 100 years ago, I think you should at least get a grotesquely large fine and at minimum serve a few weeks in prison because you're an idiot. While we're
So, this guy doesn't think men or white people should be in office for 1,000 years. If you disagree with his views, you should either be imprisoned or suffer a fine. You should be completely ineligible if in a Christian nation you have religious beliefs. In a nation where your freedom of religion is guaranteed, if you have religious beliefs, you're ineligible for office. I'm sorry, we're not a secular nation, asshole. All right? But let's keep listening to this dumbass.
on the subject, the criminal justice system needs to be overhauled and completely rebuilt because it's a scam. While we're at it, we need to redo public education because, again, it has been chipped away and now it is basically a shell of what it is supposed to be. The children aren't learning. Lastly,
I want to know, let me know in the comments, do you think this guy's straight? Because something about him is telling me he's not straight. Maybe it's the butterfly on his arm. Maybe it's the lisp in his speech. I don't know. Let me know. But it would explain a lot, I believe. It definitely would.
I think that there is a way to make voting way more accessible and easy. Those kids in Nepal did it on Discord. We need to get it together.
Voting has never been easier. Voting is extremely easy. I guess what this guy's calling for isn't for easier voting. He's calling for open voting for all human beings on the planet. That's what I think he's calling for. But okay, that's a left-winger's view of what he thinks. We got to follow that with a right-winger. Let's check this chick out. She's got something interesting to say. Swap her out here.
I never knew how racist I was until I came to Colorado. Because let me tell you how much I absolutely despise speaking with anybody who is a white savior liberal. The amount of racism
You mean like the guy that we just saw?
I have for people of my own kind drives me up a motherfucking wall and is a little bit mind-blowing, to be quite fucking frank. White liberals are the worst people in all of society. They have this complex of superiority about them where they think that they are better than other people, but at the same time think that they're lesser than other people. So they always play the victim while also saying that they're better than other people, trying to put other people on a pedestal by trying to also tell other people that, hey, I know that I'm better than you, so I'm going to help you right up in the ranks. And then when other people call them out for that shit, they're like, no, it's not that I think that I'm better than you. I just know that I'm better than you. So that's why I need to save you, right? When you have a conversation with somebody who's a white savior liberal, you know exactly who I'm talking about. You get the fat white women who have the shaved slick backs with the purple hair, the septum piercing, the pedophile glasses, the gut hanging out with the crop top, and you're like, why would you ever wear that out in public? And they're like, because my body, my choice, ooh, fat reliance, fat superiority, oh, they have energy. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And then you get them in a conversation with somebody who happens to be like a black conservative or a person of color who's a conservative, and they're like, I need to save you because you are a lesser person than I am. Then you're like, hey, that's a really wild thing to say because just because you're white doesn't mean that you're better than I am. And they're like, well, it's not that I'm better than you. I just know that you have years upon years of oppression. They're like, hey, I'm not oppressed. I'm actually earning more money than you. I'm more successful than you. I've taken life by the horns and I've ridden it well and I've learned my life lessons and I've gotten to where I wanted to go. And here I am as a person of color or somebody who you're saying that I need to be lesser than you, that you need to save me. And here here I am doing better at life than you are, and you still think that you're in a better position than I am in life, that you need to save me and walk me through this. Tell me how this makes sense. Tell me how this makes sense. Because it drives me fucking crazy, man. Because let me just tell you, all right, now that I'm here in Colorado, we are here for a short period of time, thank God, I'm seeing everything from Colorado on my For You page, and a lot of these conversations that I'm seeing had between white savior liberals and people who are not white and are not liberals, yeah, that's typically how the conversation goes. And I'm just so fucking sick of it. I'm just sick of not seeing aesthetically pleasing individuals. Get rid of pedophile glasses. Come on, George Harvey, let's not do that. And the fucking shaved sides with your fucking weird, I can't do it. Stephen Pearson, I just want to pull it out of your face. I don't know. Call me hateful. I am. I hate every single white savior liberal. I fucking hate you guys. Call me a racist against white liberals because I am. Am I racist against any other race? No. White liberals, I hate you all.
Look. You know, they say that women aren't funny. I don't know if women are actually funny or if it's just conservatism that has brought out the funny. But that shit's funny. That shit's funny. I mean, show me the lie that she just put there. Good shit. Good shit. Okay. All right. So I had one more thing I wanted to get into before I'm calling it quits for the evening. So let me go ahead and get this primed up here. Find that. Let's see. As we know, the Schumer shutdown is still going on. So we've got a lot of people that have lost their SNAP benefits as of yesterday, November 1st. And we had a lot of threats out here stating of people that are going to be out here robbing. They're going to be robbing people of their groceries in the grocery store parking lot if the SNAP benefits didn't come through. So I just wanted to say, once again, I said it before, to anyone out there saying that shit, threatening that shit, keep in mind that people like myself, we will be carrying and we will be prepared for people like you. So you will not be leaving that parking lot with our groceries such as you intend, but you will be leaving with a GSW and a prayer that you make it to the hospital in time. So be mindful of that. But anyways, we do have Democrats out here still trying to blame Republicans, saying Republicans still control the House, Republicans still control the Senate, Republicans still control the White House. This is still their shutdown. They are desperate for people to believe that it's Republicans that have shut down the government when it is so clearly Chuck Schumer and the Democrats that have done so. Their argument is that since Republicans hold the majority, they are, they're the ones that technically control the government because they are the majority party in all the different branches. Okay. That's effectively arguing that a bank robber walks into a bank and the bank president is there. The bank president controls the bank, and the bank employees, they all control the bank. The bank robber does not control the bank. The bank president and the employees control the bank. And then the bank robber pulls out a gun and holds everybody up and forces them all to the floor at gunpoint and effectively forces the bank to shut down and no longer operate until the bank gives the bank robber what he wants. Okay? Democrats are effectively arguing in that type of scenario, the bank president and the bank employees are the ones who are at fault for the bank being shut down. And they are the ones at fault for the robbery happening. That's effectively what Democrats are arguing. They're also effectively claiming that not only are they at fault, but they're in control of the robbery. Even though the robber is holding everyone at gunpoint, threatening to kill them all and end their lives unless they give him what he wants. The bank president and the bank employees are the ones in control of that situation, not the bank robber who's holding them at gunpoint. That's the argument that Democrats are trying to make. And if that sounds ridiculous, it's because it is. And that's effectively what Democrats have done here, is in order for the Senate to pass a clean CR, they need 60 votes in the Senate. See that 60 vote threshold is to try to avoid that contentious simple majority thing. That's why there always is that threshold to meet the 60 votes. And currently there's been 53 Republicans who have voted 14 times in favor of reopening the government, while Democrats have voted 14 times to keep the government shut. 3 Democrats have voted in favor of reopening the government, meaning that we still need 4 more. But no, they're not voting in favor. So now we do have Trump actually calling for utilizing the nuclear option. Now, we've been having Democrats demanding for for Republicans to just go ahead and use the nuclear option now for a while. And frankly, I feel that would be a very, 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 very bad advice. Why? Because the nuclear option has only been used 4 times in history. 4 times. And each one of those 4 times that it has been used to end a stalemate on political appointees. That's right. When you had opposing parties intentionally blocking the confirmation of political appointees. And so deploying the nuclear option to just go ahead and move forward with those appointees, that's not detrimental to the United States, and it's not really a subversion of democracy or anything like that. That's just getting past political stalemates in that sense. However, each time that Republicans have done that, Democrats have stated that, oh, this is what they intend to do. They intend to use that nuclear option to just ram their agenda through, and they're going to use it for all sorts of every other issue as well. But to date, it has never been used for anything other than confirming political appointees. If we were to use this in order to pass a budgeting bill, we would be fulfilling the Democrats' prophecy that Republicans intend to use a nuclear option to ram through their agenda. Now, I said back in January that I feel that what Republicans should have proposed is, hey, look, we'll give you 12 months in order to vote on different things that we need done. And if you stall, then we will go ahead and change the filibuster and do away with the filibuster. But then that way, that would have forced Democrats to want to go ahead and actually reach mutual decisions. But Republicans never did that. They should have. And so to go ahead and use the nuclear option now, which effectively does away with the filibuster, that I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea at all. Because I've been seeing Democrats out here saying, well, the Republicans are in control because they could always do the nuclear option. They could do the nuclear option. And I just simply point out to them, yeah, you'd love that, wouldn't you? So that way you could use that against them. That way you could criticize them for using the nuclear option. You say they should use it to prove that they don't want people to starve, but if they use it, you're going to use that against them. So I don't think that's a very good idea. I think the American people clearly see this. This is a Democrat shutdown. Let the Democrats own this shit. Let them continue to own this shit. That's what they need to do. That's what we need to continue letting them do. But anyways, we have Mike Johnson here speaking on that. Let's go ahead and listen to him.
We project all of this. This is not about winning a political contest here. Real people are losing. The American people are hurting. Democrats have voted 14 times now, Shannon, to keep the government closed. 14 times they had the opportunity to have SNAP benefits float, to let air traffic controllers be paid, to take care of all these problems and pay the troops, and they said no. And it is a fact that no one can dispute that they shut the government down over restoring free health care to illegal aliens as part of their $1.5 trillion wild partisan wish list. They're playing games, and real people are suffering because of it. We reject all of this. This is not about
Absolutely. And we also have Vance going on Tapper, and this one is a pretty interesting exchange. Let's listen.
Let's start with the SNAP ruling, because 2 federal judges ruled Friday night the White House must tap into the contingency funds to partially cover SNAP benefits that expired this weekend due to the shutdown. Yesterday, the court clarified that at least a partial payment needs to be made by Wednesday. When can we expect the Trump administration to make these payments?
Oh, well, President Trump just truthed out that he needs to hear from the courts how this is going to be done. And Jake, as you know, the best way for SNAP benefits to get paid is for Democrats, 5 Democrats, to cross the aisle and reopen the government.
Right, but there is this contingency fund, and as
Truth.
recently as September 30th, the Agriculture Department had a memo saying that these funds, the contingency funds, I think it's about $5 or $6 billion, could be used to pay these benefits. Now,
It's only about 2 weeks.
But that's a lot for people
That's nothing.
who need the food.
Well, President Trump just, as I said, President Trump just truthed out that he's very anxious to get this done, and it's got to go through the courts. The courts keep jamming up things. Democrats are in the middle of a civil war, and they should just open the government. That is the easiest way to do this.
Is the administration going to appeal
It really
the ruling
is.
by the judge? Is that what you mean by the courts need to weigh in? Because the courts have weighed in.
No, but there's a process that has to be followed, so we got to figure out what the process is. President Trump wants to make sure that people get their food benefits.
So it could be done by Wednesday?
Could be.
Okay.
Could be. And 5 Democratic senators could cross the aisle and open the government by Wednesday.
They can do that much faster. They could do it on Monday. They could do that shit on Monday. But no, they're not. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. But anyways, I saw this girl. I swear this, like I said, I didn't know women could be funny. This woman is funny. This woman is funny. And she breaks it down. She breaks it down really easy for all these leftists out here. And I swear I can never get enough of her whenever I see her videos popping up. I'm going to go ahead and tee her up. This chick right here cracks me up every time. Let's go ahead and open that up so everyone can see. Here we go.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Let's do some math and find out. The bill, which fully funds your food stamp program, needs 60 votes in the Senate to pass. It currently has 53 Republican votes. So it needs 7 Democratic votes to pass. It only got 3. That means we need 4 more Democratic votes. So if you're not going to get your food stamps in November, just know that there are 53 Republicans lined up to give them to you. And Trump is ready to sign that bill. Maybe if the media did their job and reported the facts, people might understand that it's the Democrats holding things up. And I wouldn't have to come on TikTok and play leapfrog to educate ya. So who passed my 5th grade math class?
President Trump is doing right now is using the fear that so many working people have about where their next meal is coming from as a political bargaining chip.
Listen here, Grandma. Trump has nothing to do with your food stamps. It's your own Democratic Party that has voted now 13, what a number, times against the bill that would fully fund your food stamps.
That chick cracks me up every time. Every time, without fail. She's hysterical. But okay, we've got one more thing that I'm going to get in real quick. I mentioned earlier that we have an admission of illegal voting happening in New York City in order to get Zohran Mamdani elected. That's right. If this person is bold enough to come out here and admit this, think of all the people that are also doing it that just don't have the guts to admit it. Let me tee them up. You can't make this shit up, guys. You can't make this shit up. Let's go ahead and get them up here. Here we go. Take it away, libtard.
I'm here in New York, about to illegally vote for Zohran Mamdani 6 times. Yeah. 6.
That's an admission right there. And can't nobody tell me that this is a conservative. Look at that. Look at that. Conservatives don't dress like that. They don't dye their hair weird, funky colors. This is a libtard all day long. He's coming up there. He's going to illegally vote 6 times. Not even a New York citizen. And how many other people we got that are going to be doing the same damn thing? I think we saw a poll come out that if only American-born citizens in New York were allowed to vote, that Zohran Mamdani would not be winning. He'd be losing in a landslide. However, we have imported so many people from other nations that by allowing all of these non-American born citizens to vote, Zohran Mamdani is going to win. It's that should tell you all that we got to do something about this immigration system. Frankly, I feel like it needs a reset. It needs a major reset. I think that anybody that hasn't been here longer than 15 years needs to be deported and needs to reapply to be a citizen again. That's my hot take. I'm just saying. But I also think that there needs to be a pause for 20 years to allow acclimation. Just saying. We need a single language in this country. I need to be able to understand the people I'm talking to. And they need to be able to understand me. Just saying. But okay. That's really going to do it. I went a hell of a lot longer than I planned to. A little over 2 hours here. Plan on being back Friday evening, guys. So make sure that you're tuning in for that. I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about on Friday evening yet. We'll see what the news cycle comes up for us and go from there. But I could not allow everything that happened over this weekend without coming on here to rant about it while it was still relevant. Hell of a weekend. But all right, guys, I'll catch y'all next time. See ya.
What's this?
Talk about it.
What's this?